Hey guys, Tommy Gans here. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about something today that's going to sound a little bit odd in the beginning, so bear with me because I promise you this is going to be worth it. We're going to spend some time today talking about this baseball. Okay, we spend a great deal of time with our students here in our private academy teaching them, well, I'll tell you, let me start off by telling you our phrase. It's, what did it do? What does it mean? How do you fix it? What does it do? Meaning, what did this baseball do? What does it mean? And how do you fix it? So, why we talk so much about that and why we use that phrase is because we teach them that this baseball is going to tell them everything they did right and wrong every time they swing at the ball, period. So we try to make them understand, when they're in a game situation, they're kind of, they're on an island out there. It's very chaotic. They got a lot of things going on, people screaming at them. And too often we got coaches and parents and people yelling silly, archaic things through the fence at them. Listen. This is their coach. This is their instructor. As long as they have some good basic fundamental knowledge, it's about paying attention to the ball. This ball is going to tell them what's going right and wrong with their swing. So let's talk about a little bit about the spin of the baseball. Well, if you've seen our videos or you've been on our blog for a while, you know that we are big on swinging down to the ball. So you can look at any major league hitter, collegiate hitter, anybody with good hitting fundamentals, you'll see that back knee is driving down, they have a good stiff front side, and their back leg is shaped like an L. That's because they're driving down through the baseball. Well, if you swing down to the ball, what kind of spin are you going to put on that baseball? Of course, you're going to put backspin on the ball. And what's that ball going to do when you put backspin on it? It's going to rise. So we tell our hitters, look, watch your baseball. If you're hitting line drives and the ball's got a little rise to it, that's an indication you're swinging down through that ball. That's great. Let's talk about the other spin, top spin. If your players are hitting a lot of ground balls, well, there's a reason why they're hitting ground balls. It's because they're rolling over the top of that baseball. So I get frustrated when I hear, dads and young coaches tell them, come on, get that top hand, strong top hand. Well, most of the time it's that strong top hand that is causing the ground balls because they're using that top hand, that's their dominant hand, and they're rolling over the top of the ball. And when they roll their hands and they roll over the top of the baseball, well, that's going to put topspin on the ball. Well, where's that ball going to go when you put topspin? Of course, it's going to drive downward. So most of the time your ground balls are caused because you're swinging over the top and rolling over on your hands. Now, let's say that you're a right-handed hitter and you're yanking balls down the left field side. Well, what does that mean? What'd the ball do? Well, the ball's way left. Well, obviously that tells us that we're not letting that ball get very deep into the hitting area. We're way out in front. And again, you hear those young coaches tell those kids, especially when they, miss a fastball, what's the next thing that comes out of their mouth? Come on, swing early. You got to get to that ball quicker. Well, there they go. Now they're way out in front and they're hitting ground balls to the third base. They're grounding out. They're going back to the bench. They're frustrated. They're hearing swing early or get the bat hit out there. They're grounding out to the third baseman. They go back. They're frustrated. Well, we're giving them the wrong information, the wrong signals. If they're hitting balls to the left side as a right-handed hitter, they are too far out in front. But let's compound that with, what if they're hitting ground balls to the left side? Well, not only are they too far out in front, but they're also rolling over the top of the baseball. Most of the time, that is because the further out in front you get, the easier it is to roll over those hands. And most of the time when you are early, it usually is a result of a ground ball early. So if you pay attention to that ball, and that ball's pulling down a left field line and it's a ground ball, two specific things that are going wrong with that swing. You're way too far out front and you're rolling over the top of the baseball. So again, fly balls, well, we know that we're dropping the backside, we're hitting up through the ball, we're not swinging down through the ball. So again, this baseball is going to tell you what's going right and wrong every time. But I want to talk about one thing that you're probably wondering about right now, and that is, well, what happens when the ball goes to the right side in your right-handed hitter? Because this is one of the biggest mistakes I see dads and young coaches make. When they the player hits the ball down to the right field line, they're constantly telling them to get more out in front, get that top hand, to the ball, get the barrel to the ball, get the head farther out front, swing earlier, they're too late. Oh, we hate that terminology, late. They are never late. When you swing down to the baseball, if you're a right-handed hitter and you're hitting that ball down that right field line, you just have a bad angle to the baseball. You could be swinging down to the baseball, but it might be back here somewhere, more like a golf swing than a batting swing. So if you just adjust that angle, you will get that ball more back toward the gap-to-gap area up the middle where it belongs. So when they your players hit that ball down the right field side when they're a right-handed hitter, don't use the terminology late. They're not late. They just have a bad angle to the ball. Again, this ball is going to tell them that adjustment to make. So give them something specific to focus on. Get their mind off how fast the pitcher throws or the chaos of the game. Make sure your players are paying attention to what this baseball is doing and teach them what those adjustments are. They will enjoy the game more, they'll be a lot more productive, and you'll be amazed at the results, I promise you.